It's going down, down. Oh, it's going down. It's going down today. Oh my goodness, we got issues. We got issues. We're so glad you're here with us. I'm your host today, Gloria Mayfield Banks. Oh, we got issues. We're here every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 9:10 a.m. The Superstation out of Detroit, Michigan. We're so glad that we serve those in Detroit, those in Michigan, those in the United States, and those around the world. You guys, if you're looking for us, trust me, if you go to theforceoffriendship.com, you will find every single way to connect with us. And we're so glad that you're connecting with us today. You might be on Facebook with us. You might be on the 910. You might be on the Force of Friendship page. You might be on iHeartRadio. Wherever you are, we are so glad that you're leaning in. We are here to give lessons, to give laughter. Oh my gosh, we got everybody tuning in. And you guys, let me just invite you. This is your first time or your 55,000th time. You should call us at 313-778-7600 because we love to hear your voice. We love to hear your input today. OMG, we are talking about packing. We're talking about packing. We're talking about travel. Did you guys know that your packing and your travel has a whole lot to do with your personality? It really does. And there's a lot of information all around it. So the girlfriends are going to talk about it. You know, one of the things that people say is that it takes good girlfriends to tell you the truth. And we've been girlfriends for a long time. And we really tell each other, when I tell you the truth, we tell each other the truth. Sometimes a little bit too much truth. That's what we do. But we love it. We love everything about it. And so we invite you into the circle. We invite you into the tribe. And when we talk about travel, now these chicks have traveled a lot. They've done it a lot alone. They've done it in a group. They've done it with their man. But the bottom line is we want to have you guys travel with us as the world opens up. And it will open up. We're believing that the world is going to open up. As the world opens up, we got some traveling to do. And so before we do that, let's go to the girlfriends and see what's going on. Let's go over to the hat woman out of Detroit, Michigan. Chris, how are you today? What's happening down there?
I am doing fantastic. And oh my goodness, this is a subject that I love to talk about travel. So can't wait to lean into talking about traveling. But today is an absolutely drop dead gorgeous hot day in the D. Absolutely love these days. And today, you know what? I actually hung out with my older sister Karen today. She told me about she has friends and all of them are gardeners. You guys know we had her on the show talking about gardening. Yeah. And this one particular lady that she met through the group of her friends that garden, she has a beautiful garden that she planted in the back of her condominium. And because you guys know that they have rules in condos, you know, every condo kind of got to look alike. You can't paint it crazy colors. So they could not plant flowers in the front. They were very limited and restricted with what they could do. But the builder said, hey, have at it in the back of your house, whatever you want to do. And when I tell you, this lady transformed the back of her house. And I mean, it was just amazing. She says like it took her 30 years to get it there. So she invited my sister, some other ones to see it. And she was giving away some plants today. So my sister asked me if I wanted to go. So I said, well, you know what? I am a green girl. I'm not as green as she is. So I went with her. And oh my goodness, you guys, when she gets with her friends and they are into gardening, they were just, it was just interesting to watch how excited they are. And they knew all the names of the plants and they had their shovels and they were digging up stuff. And when I say they were in their happy place, now I was happy for the first 30 minutes. And then I was looking at my watch. And then I was kind of like, I was like, Karen, okay, we've been here like an hour and a half. But you know what? It's just amazing when people are passionate about stuff and things that bring them joy, you know, just to see, you know, when you're around people that have the same passion, you lose track of time and it just makes you feel so good. So she dug up some stuff from me. So I was like, oh, Lord, I got to get home and plant it. But it was really just nice to hang out with her and to see this beautiful garden that this woman literally has took 30 years for her to create, but I guarantee you go out there and you feel like you're in an oasis. So that was really fun today to hang out with the garden ladies.
Right. That's amazing. It's so fun to be with people in a passion that you don't know anything about. Like, you can't even relate to. How can you be that passionate? Like a flower, like 30 years. And I'd be trying to get an annual to come up, like 30 years of planting flowers, and they're all up in it. And when they have a total different language that they're talking, and they're so excited, it's really like it's another language. And you just sit over there for a while and you just like, there's not enough peanuts in the coffee pot for me to keep on the conversation going, because I don't know what y'all talking about. But I'm gonna laugh. You ever do that when they're in the conversation? You just laugh because they laugh. You just start. You have no clue what's going on. That's being a true friend.
Hey, that's me in sports. Me in sports. You scream. Yeah. Oh, we're screaming.
Exactly. It's the same. Talk about sports. Football is starting. I'm gonna get you and Caterina ready. Football's getting ready to heat back up now. It's getting ready to heat back up. One day we'll talk about church. The next day we'll talk about sports. One day we'll get it all in. What's going on, Sabrina, now that you're back from London? What's happening?
Oh, my goodness. Well, big elections yesterday, Florida, Oklahoma, New York. Glad that folks got out to vote. We need more people to get out and vote. We got to get ready for general election in November.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, you guys, it's nasty out there. And so I was just really, were those the only 3 states? Of course, I got back in the country and was like, wow, today is election day. But was it just Florida, Oklahoma, New York? Okay. I thought it was more than those states. But I know for sure those 3, because I've got major connections and had friends in those cities that we were talking back and forth. But just watching those returns closely, and man, we've got some doozies come November. And so I just want to encourage everybody to be your own personal voter registration booth. Every relative, every friend, every foe, we've got to have the voice. Are you registered? Who can you get registered? And we've got to get to those polls, y'all. We can't stroll to the poll, do early voting, do whatever you have to do. So that's what's been heavy on my mind. When you've been away from the news cycle and you get back in the news cycle, it becomes heavy. And I saw this come across my social media. It said, you've only got 3 choices in life: give up, give in, or give it all you got. And so I'm deciding to give it all I got. Monday motivation on a Wednesday, baby. Giving it all I got. So that's what I got going on. Caterina, how are you?
Oh, goodness. Well, I have a travel story that's even updated since we've been on the air. So I'll save that one because we're talking travel. So, I got plenty to add, okay, as my husband just called me. But how about $10,000 in relief for, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a campaign promise that Biden promised for student loan relief, people that make under $125,000. I understand if it was a Pell Grant, it could be up to $20,000. Not understanding if you had to go to a public school or if it applies to private schools. Also, they said, what is it? I'm trying to remember, Lord, I should have wrote it down. You think you could remember. Can't remember if it was 2 million or 23 million, but it's only a digit difference. But a whole bunch of millions of people are going to get their entire student loans wiped out, and a whole nother layer will get a big chunk. Okay.
Wow.
They want more, but that's a big deal. Biden is like, you know what? Meanwhile, back at the ranch, while y'all doing this, I'm just going to start knocking it off. And I just, this is what I don't understand. They said, of course, there were economists who said it could contribute to the recession. I'm trying to understand how student loans can contribute to the recession, like giving them the $10,000 off. I couldn't equate that as an economics major.
Mouth is coming out of. That's what it is. It depends on whose mouth is because they can spend anything.
Yeah, I couldn't understand. Understand that. So that's a big deal. Yolanda said the site, you talking about the student loan site, to go on in there and see what your student loans are, completely shut down. I mean, a lot of people, that could be the difference in a down payment of a house.
That's
So
right.
much. Yeah.
Especially if they had not anticipated it. Now, all of a sudden, it does a lot to their budget. And it does a lot to the mental capacity, because you know how many people talk about those student loans, because it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It just keeps beating them up. And they make a little bit extra. It doesn't go to the loan. It goes to this. And they just keep extending. So that makes a big difference. Oh, my gosh, you guys, the news cycle. Yeah, big deal. It's a really big deal. So it's exciting to see that stuff coming up. I missed the whole news cycle today, you guys. Seriously, let me tell you something. Packing to get out of town. We're going to talk about packing and traveling. But I was in the store today, and I asked myself this question. I don't know if you guys have ever asked yourself this question, but why do you buy more stuff when you're trying not to take nothing? That's what I want to know. Why am I at the store so much? Right. When I am really trying to take nothing. You guys, seriously, we're going to talk to the girlfriends, and we want to talk with you guys and tell us what has changed for your packing. What do you do now? The packing we used to do maybe 10 years ago or 5 years ago. Pandemic changed a lot of it changed travel, but it also changed packing. Then what kind of changes did you make in your relationship? When you have packing that changes the relationship, because depending on how your man packs or whatever, really does make a difference. And we're going to go right to the caller first. We got a caller on the line. Do we have a caller today? Amy, are you there? Hey, how are you?
How are you? I'm good. Sister Amy called in on the packing line. What's going on, Amy? Yes. Oh, my goodness. The friends of friendship. You all are just on it. I mean, you have to do packing of so many things, packing of your mind, right? Your mindset to pack. I mean, you all got a lot that you have packed your minds about, in terms of voting rights and student loans and all that stuff. But anyway, y'all talking about packing to travel. I get it. And I just came back from a trip to Anguilla, and I was determined to pack so I could carry on. Okay? I said, I am going to carry on a bag. And it took me 2 weeks to pack so I wouldn't take too much stuff. And that was a mindset that was the first answer. I'm not taking too much stuff. So I completely packed almost 2 weeks before I left. Then I completely unpacked and eliminated stuff. And then I repacked. Wait a minute. You packed, then you unpacked it, and then you packed it again. So did you have enough, or did you have too much? I still had too much. I still had too much. Yes. But see, I went by myself, okay? So that was a different dynamic of, how you had to dress and everything. Right. But I still had too much. The hardest part was I was there for 4 nights. Wow, 4 nights, right. And it was wonderful. It was just wonderful. Nothing but what's the thing in the bed. I have no lotion or nothing. How you pack? How do y'all not have check luggage? I can't think of a liquid container at all that I use. What do you do with all your liquid? You gotta get a small sizes. You get the small sizes, or you buy the small container sizes at Walgreens, and then you pour the lotions into them. Oh, that was the hardest part. But Mary, you got to stay on. You got to hold on with it. The music came on, and we got to pay some bills. But you got to stay on because we got some questions. How'd you go away with the carry-on? No, my question is, how'd you pack 2 weeks before the time goes? I leave tomorrow for 28 days and ain't packed nothing. So we're going to be right after this commercial. We'll come back to Amy, and we'll come back to the fourth picture. Because what? I don't know about if we got issues, but I know I got issues. We got issues, and we'll be right back. okay, now give us just a little education. Talk to the women who don't know how to pack in advance. How do you pack in advance? Well, like I said, the first thing you have to do is decide your vision of what you want to pack and how you want to pack. Because if you don't have a vision, like I am going to pack for an on-board roll-on, that I am going to carry my bag on, and that means that you just have to set boundaries to yourself. That's what I'm going to do. And that really helped me. And really, I thought about Arlene, our mother's sister. And they traveled the world. This was back in the 60s, right? They took sabbatical from teaching, and they went from Los Angeles to Germany and bought a Volkswagen bus. And I know that she traveled from LA to Germany with a carry-on. She insisted. I don't know if that changed. Once they bought the bus and drove across Africa. Okay? That's what they did. But I know from LA to Germany, it was carry-on time because that was her way. And then she gave me this red travel wallet that I still have from back then. Wow. And I put it in front of me. And I'm like, okay, we're going to do this. Right? And so that was my mindset. And then I said, so I packed, and, you don't carry too many shoes. I said, I always carry all these shoes. You don't need but a couple pair. With your flip-flops and gym shoes, and you wear those. And then, a pair that can go twist here and out. That's it. And the hardest part is toiletries for me, because, you got to have your stuff. Like you said, you're not going to get black loose in Dubai. Right, right. Maybe Dubai, but, right. Vietnam, I don't know. So you just want to make up your mind. And then, packing cubes. Get those packing cubes, because then you can organize your stuff that you need by category. Your lingerie in one, your bathing suits and real, casual stuff in another, and your go out stuff in another. And if you don't have, good drawers where you're going, keep it organized. Wow. Well, there's a big debate over packing cubes or not. If you go on YouTube, where I've been on YouTube a lot lately about how to pack, and they're like, half say like, don't do cubes, and half of them say this is the best thing ever. So, Amy, thank you for calling in. We appreciate you so much, lending your voice and telling us the stories. I still don't know how to do it. But I thank you for your advice, because we're going to get a lot of advice today. Thank you so much for calling in. All right. Bye.
Listen, yes.
I was just going to say, if I ever did what Amy just described, I'm going to be the one who has, like, you see those people, they get on, they have like 15 coats and 17 shirts on and 8 hats on their head. That's me with a carry-on.
Now, see, I was going to wait for somebody else to talk about how messy you are, Caterina, because of all 4 of us, this chick carries more stuff. I mean, her computer bag is overstuffed.
Right.
She's the shortest one with the most luggage, the heaviest luggage. We look at her like, what, really? She takes her stuff, it's billowing out. Ridiculous. Okay, so really, Sabrina, you just came back from that. And then Chris, I know that you're here for this part of the show. So tell us first, Chris, you was telling us before about the difference between you and Chuck and your packing.
Right. And I was just sharing that for me, I have changed how I pack from how I used to pack years ago. Years ago, I had to have, if we were going somewhere sunny, I had to have a certain sandal that matched this outfit, a different sandal that matched another outfit. So literally, I almost had a luggage filled with sandals, right? And then as you get older, you're like, you know what? I just need a black and a brown. Who cares? I'm here to enjoy the beach, the sand. Who cares about every sandal has to match to the T every outfit? So I have totally eliminated carrying so many sandals and all of that kind of thing. But to your point, men and women pack differently. Literally, I think about it and I always say to myself, okay, you're going to do good this time. You're going to pack early. So I start laying some things out. Then I get caught up doing something else. And then at the last minute, I'm like, oh my God, the day before I'm trying to finish up. My room looks a hot mess. I mean, it looks like a blizzard has gone through it. Chuck will come home at 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. Our flight leaves at 6, 7 a.m. in the morning. And literally, he goes to his closet where everything is nicely lined up. He grabs his, golf shirts, his shorts, his toiletries. He puts it in the luggage. He's in the bed and the room. And I'm like, I don't like you. I just don't like you for that reason. How are they able to pack in an hour what took me 2 weeks to think about? And I've narrowed it down to this. I just think women have so much more stuff than men. And you know what somebody told me? And I believe this is true. The less stuff you have, the easier it is to pack. The more stuff you have, the harder it is. It boils down to that.
That's for sure. There's a lot of sound to that. And we all have a whole lot of stuff. Like we got a whole lot of stuff. And I also think they don't have the same pressure and they don't have the same accessories. Ken has a watch that he likes. He has another watch, but he only wears one watch. Like no earrings, no stockings, no this, no that, none of it. It's just amazing. Who else is the opposite? I'm definitely the opposite. I carry too much. He don't carry nothing. Who else is the opposite? Or are y'all the same? You and Kenny? Caterina, I know Anthony does not pack as much as you carry, Caterina.
No, he's definitely the opposite. Absolutely. I kept telling him he needed to take one extra bag because we had gifts that we were sending to people. Someone bought a computer. So he brought his own stuff and the other stuff. And, we can travel with an overweight bag. If it's overweight, it's no big deal. But once you get in the nations, he's not under that United plan. He was like, he got that stuff down pat. So he's just changing clothes. He took like one suit and 3 shirts and a couple pairs of pants. And it's it's a good thing. So he definitely is different. I will say the type of trip you go on is very different. And he said to me, I can't believe I brought my white shoes. It is totally dusty. You know how brother is about their shoes. He's like, I got my black shoes and it's dust everywhere. These shoes are going in the garbage when I get home. So, yeah.
Big difference. What about Kenny? What about Kenny, Sabrina?
Yeah, like Chuck, doesn't take a lot of time. I'm in there just stressing out 2 days before. Closet looked like it exploded. He casually comes upstairs the night before. I'm like, he's in the bed before me, He pulls his stuff together. And I'm like, when are you going to pack? When are you going to pack? He's like, I'm going to pack in a little bit. It's like 12 o'clock at night. We got a 6 a.m. flight. He's down there watching a movie, doing something else. And so, he does not stress. He's got this thing down. He's traveled a long time, a lot of different places. So he's like, I'm not stressing. But I think it's for events based on where we're going, how we're going, what it means. I love when Amy said you have to unpack your mind, first of all.
Right.
Unpack your mind to get ready for the trip. And Gloria, I have to tell you, got to stop saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yes, you can. Okay, you can do it. Make up your mind, sister. Okay,
now Gloria,
maven.
But let me just interject because Sabrina's telling you the truth. However, we know that Sabrina, out of all of us,
right,
she is probably the minimalist. But let's be clear. She needs all 3 of us because she's going to ask us, do we have this? Do we have that? Do we have that?
Because brush,
she is absolutely going to leave stuff at home.
That's not
you
true.
already know.
That's not
you
true.
already know.
Well, none of y'all in London. One of y'all in London last week, and I did just fine. I only do that when I know I got back up.
How many of y'all got a phone call from Sabrina in Hawaii?
No, that's not. Don't lie.
I got a village.
Okay,
I got a village.
Wait, I do that. Okay, but I went to England where none of y'all nowhere to be found, and I did just fine.
Let's not talk about England because I'll tell you what. Let me tell you something. She asked all of us for earrings, and she's the only one that ain't got no pierced earrings. She's like, "Do you have this earring?" No, I do not have no clip-on. Okay, nobody has clip-ons. Clip-ons are out of style now. That chick can borrow everything. So the reason she don't have to have nothing is because everybody else carries everything. And the reason you made over there in London, because don't nobody know you over there in London. So if you had on the same thing, it don't bother you, not at all. Not at all.
Now, that's true.
We come.
That's true.
Yeah. So
Very
what
true.
was it like when because your luggage didn't make it? So you came back with some advice about luggage, Sabrina.
Yeah, for sure, you guys. We went over there. When I tell you, travel at your own risk these days, because these airlines, they don't care. I mean, they lost our luggage for 3 days over in England. 3 days. 3 days without your stuff, you guys. And sure enough, but that third day, we had said 3 days with international. I mean, really, when you're, that was very stressful. And all they say is call AA.com. They don't want to hear nothing at the desk. They put you on hold for 4 or 5 hours.
That's horrible.
I mean, after they told us that the luggage got there 8 o'clock in the morning, one morning, we didn't get it until 3 o'clock the next day. Even after they located it, it took a day and a half to get to our apartment.
Wow.
And so I just think that.
And how many days were you there, Sabrina? You were only there for what, 7 days?
We were there 8 days, and the luggage was lost for 3.5, close to 4 days. It was crazy. But, they eventually said, go shopping, send us your receipts. And so that's what we commenced to do. But I was telling Gloria, make sure you pack a carry-on with essentials for 2 to 3 days, because I didn't do that this trip. And that's a must.
Yeah. We're going to come back to some more rules, you guys. We're going to come back to some more rules. And we got issues talking about packing and travel. And the girlfriends calling in. Call us from 313-778-7600. We're so excited to talk to you guys. And we need help. I need help. Lord, it's happening tomorrow morning. I ain't ready. But we'll be ready by 7 p.m. We'll be right back at you. See you in a minute. we go. We got issues. We done lost one of the girlfriends. Because we got issues. 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We were all here a minute ago and boof, there goes one. But we're so excited to be here with you today. Listen, you guys, we didn't talk about this. Dorothy brought up the procrastinator. That would probably be me. I just feel like I have so much more to do before I get packing. And here we are, 6:30 at night. We get picked up at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're going away for 26 days. I thought it was 28 days, 26 days. We're going to Korea, Vietnam, Singapore, Bali, and Dubai, and haven't packed a thing. Now, I have pulled things out, and I have ruled things out. And now I'm down to thinking maybe 4 pairs of shoes. Maybe I can do 3 pairs of shoes. But let me tell you some statistics that were very interesting. Did you know the average traveler now is not a 28-year-old male, but a 47-year-old female, and she wears a size 12 dress. Interesting. The number one decision maker when it comes to travel is women. Listen to this, you guys. 80% of all travel decisions are made by women. 80% of all travel decisions are made, whether whether it's for work or play, it's all that. 75% of the women who go love culture, adventure, and nature trip are for women. 230% increase in the number of women-only travel companies in the last 6 years. 230% increase in women-owned and women-only travel companies. So women are really, truly on the move. The women, they're young, they're old, they're single, they're married, they're widowed, and they're fueling the explosive growth in the travel industry. Women also travel differently than men. 87% of women say they love to go to scenery, beautiful scenery. Men don't. So there's a lot of statistics out there, but I'm going to go really quickly to some of the tips that they talked about in travel, and you guys can add to that. Okay, so the first tip says, roll, don't fold. Do you guys roll or do you fold? Which one do you do, and why do you do it?
A little bit of both.
I fold.
Yeah.
I tried that rolling, and it just didn't seem to. It didn't seem to make that much of a difference. I fold. Okay. I fold.
Do you really? That's amazing that you fold and you don't carry that much stuff because you got us. Okay, gotcha.
But let's be clear. Until Sabrina opens it up, then when you get there, Sabrina, your stuff, when you open your bag, I'll be like, did you roll it or fold it, or did you just put it in there? Now,
or did you just put it in there?
If my mother is available and willing, but she was like a grocery checker for years, and she could like pack the bags. She just has a gift for packing, whether you're moving, whether you're packing a car, whatever. Really? She just has a gift for that. And she's like, so make sure it's like this when you bring it back. I was like, I'm not even gonna lie. But maybe she got good because of my dad, because the worst argument I ever saw my parents get in my entire life was over some luggage and her luggage being too heavy. So maybe that's how
Are you serious?
Divorce almost happened.
Take it very seriously. That is amazing.
And that's the thing too, Gloria, the cost. I mean, oh my goodness, the cost.
Yes.
These people are out of control. These airlines are out of control with charging for these bags. So if you're not like a preferred flyer and you don't have points where you're getting free luggage, which I would like to hear the stats on that. How many people really have earned free baggage? Because it's very expensive. They get you by these cheap flights, and baby, by the time you get there, the luggage costs more than the flight,
And if you're overweight, it's gonna be off the chain. You could spend more on the overweight cost than you spend on the ticket.
Absolutely. And you know how Spirit Airlines does it, but my daughter-in-law Erica loves Spirit. She can go to Mexico with her girlfriends for a week with a purse.
You got to know how to
I can do it, but I'm not carrying no luggage, nothing. I'm like, who does that? And who are you, by the way? Because I just can't even figure it out. I'm like Yvette. I'm a Southwest girl. No baggage, 2 bags, no luggage, no extra charge.
Okay, but Gloria, you can't do Southwest to Asia, sister. You can't do Southwest to Asia.
And Gloria,
I'm crying right now.
I mean, it depends where you're going. Like, you've been all over the world, but Singapore and Dubai, those folks are fabulous. Like those are two fabulous places. And so you just, you're going to look fabulous, but you're going to find your most flimsy, fabulous clothes. It has to be light. It is easier when you're going to a warm climate.
Right.
It's very hard when it's in the wintertime. The boots alone weigh too much. So it is easier.
It does matter where you're going. And Terry said, I'm learning the joy of not packing and buying when you get there. That's Ken's philosophy. If I don't have it, I'll buy it when I get there. If I don't have it, I'll buy it when I get there. That's not
where you gonna put it?
Mine. That's what
where
I'm like.
You gonna put it?
In my luggage. I look over there and there's his shoes in my luggage. I look over there and there's his stuff in my luggage. And he's yelling at me the whole time. We don't need to have no extra bags. And then I just put it in your luggage. Look, big old water pick in the thing, sitting up in my luggage. I said, oh my goodness. The patience. Okay, rule number 2, make a packing list. Do you guys make a packing list? Because I will tell you, my favorite app is Packing Pro. If you pack a lot or you travel a lot, you have got to get this app called the Packing Pro. And all you do is one time, it categorizes everything. And you guys, last week on the way to the wedding, because I've done the packing, and you know how sometimes you don't look over the list, you make the list, but you don't read over the list, right? You've done that, right? So I packed everything. I thought I was good, and we were in the car, and I said, let me go look at that list. Let me just look, because I've missed a couple things before. I looked at that list, y'all. My whole hair products had left. Now, some people can do without hair products, but Gloria Mayfield Banks, this little cute 2-inch of hair I got, it needs a lot of product. And I almost left my product because I didn't have the packing list. What kind of list do you guys use? What kind of list do you use?
The one you just did. Sometimes it's a spiral notebook, though.
Yeah. And notes on your phone. Notes on the phone. I just do notes on my phone, and I think about the days. And but this last, and again, the events. And I saved myself a lot this last trip because I took minimal accessories. Accessories can be so heavy, right?
Right.
I mean, your necklaces, your bracelets, all the earrings, shoes, and accessories can be very heavy. And so that just lightened my load to England last week, where I did not do a lot of jewelry, and I felt relieved. I just didn't feel so bogged down. I think, I think it's where you're going, what you're going for. It makes a difference. Of course, when we go to our events where we have to be really fabulous, well, we need it all. You need it all. You need 10 pair of eyelashes. I mean, I was so proud of myself. I did not wear, well, I forgot those. I forgot my eyelashes. Okay.
She would have asked. Having space makes a difference. I mean, for this last trip, I used our guest room, and literally we had, getting a rack. It was Keith Harley who had me get the rack, and literally hanging up every outfit and having space to lay it out makes a big difference. Or taking a sheet and laying it out, because trying to pack it, just pulling it out of the closet, I always mess up an outfit.
Missing up. We got a caller. I'm so glad PG called in. PG, are you there with us? Oh, welcome to We Got Issues.
And you ladies are always talking about issues and things that women have to deal with. I modeled back in the day, and we were on the road for about 7 months, just traveling, doing the shows like Ebony Fashion Fair, and packing a suitcase was very, very essential. And I have learned over the years how to pack. So here's how I pack. Okay, so if I'm going to wear like a sundress, I take that dress, I take my undergarments, I take any accessories, put them in a bag with my shoes, and I roll it up like a log. And you'd be surprised how many outfits you can put in that suitcase if you roll it up like a log. The problem that we have is we fold a shirt and we fold it and leave it the long way. But you have to fold it and fold it in such a way where you're making really small things. So if you're folding a shirt, put it on the back side, you fold it, you take the sleeves, you put them inside, you fold it again, and you take the collar that's going to be sticking out, and you put the bottom part inside like that collar part. And you'd be surprised how small it comes out, how flat it comes out, and how many more things you can put in the suitcase. Now that's how I do it. PG, you gotta come to my house. I need some help. I need some help for real. I need to know what's north and what's south, and what's half and what's long and what's short. Because you gave some really good tips. And I'll tell you, somebody else in the chat just said, "Oh, Dolores, you need to help Dolores out. She paid $79 extra going and coming to Dallas. Like she just really just overpacked going and coming. You just a hot mess, Dolores. I'm gonna have to charge you $150 just to tell her how to do it." That's what girlfriends are for, PD. That's what girlfriends are for. Thank you so much. No, you ladies are really exciting. I love the energy. I love the way you bounce off from each other. It's very refreshing. It's very collective. And this is a clear example of Black women collaborating and not comparing and competing. And oh my God, it's just so beautiful. Thank you so much. You guys laugh. Sometimes I'm just laughing. I don't quite know what I'm laughing at, but I'm laughing at someone's laugh. It's just amazing. And I'm really getting hooked on the show. Thank you so much. We love having you on We Got Issues.
Love it. We love it. We're getting advice from the callers. We're getting advice from each other, and all of us are a hot mess. Why? Because we got issues. We got issues when it comes to packing. We got issues when it comes to traveling. We got issues when it comes to our man trying to tell us how to pack, how to travel, and how to look. I told my husband, I said, "Are you going to love me if I wear the same outfit?" He said, "I am, Gloria." I said, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you for a minute. I'm going to take you some extra clothes." We'll be right back after we pay some bills at the commercials because we got issues on 910 AM, the Superstation. Here we go. Here we go. We got advice coming everywhere. We got advice coming everywhere. People pack. They travel, and they come home looking crazy, you guys. Listen to this statistic. I thought this was hilarious. Number one, 91% of females never wear all the clothes they bring on vacation. They do not do it. And listen to this. The typical week-long travel, they lug an average of 36 items of clothing and between 6 and 8 pairs of shoes. And they end up wearing less than half of everything they bring. half. Oh, now that tells me I should go put everything in the bag tonight and then take out half. And I did hear that if you lay it all out in front of you and you look at it for 3 days, you can start taking things away. But I couldn't get to the 3 days. They said that a lot of people were surveyed and they found out that a lot of women do the packing for their man. Now, you know, I can hardly get myself packed, so I absolutely can't pack for him. I mean, and he wouldn't want me packing for him anyway. No, I was like, no, that wouldn't work at all. The other thing that they said, which was really interesting, is that women they don't have a problem with overpacking. Men say that they're the most efficient packers, but they use the majority, men say they use the majority of 90% that's in their bags, and women use 50% of what they packed on the bag. So is it a form of security? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that causes women to pack differently than men. But I will tell you, getting ready for this trip and getting ready to listen to everybody else's trip, it's pretty amazing how we do. But let's talk a little bit about some of the secrets that we have in packing, because we've done the packing where you had the straight up vacation. We've had the packing when you do something where we have to be dressed to the nine every single day of the week. What are some of the skills that you guys have gained when you're packing when you have to be dressed to the nine for 5 or 7 days of the week? What are some of the biggest things, or what are some of the things when you have big, bulky dresses that you have to carry? What are some of your secrets? Anybody got anything?
The color scheme, Gloria. Coming up with a color scheme is good. If you're going to do cool, warm, you know, coming up with the color scheme, because you think about that when you get your nails done, when you get your toes done, you think about that. So color scheme helps in terms of being able to repurpose jewelry a little bit.
Right.
That's big.
Okay, so let me touch on that one for a second. You could tell I'm in a current pain issue right here with the colors, with the packing. So when I watched the videos, they said neutral colors will help you pack less because you can interchange. And then I look at my wardrobe and I look at my life and I'm of color, right? I'm a colorful person. So I said, I'm gonna go with pink and oranges and greens because I like those kind of colors. And then I'm gonna mix some neutrals in there. So I wanna let you guys know that when you see me on social media over in Asia, I'm gonna look a hot mess, okay? I'm gonna look a hot mess. Because I bought neutrals, because that's what they said. But every time I look at a neutral, it never works for me. It never works for me. But they did say color scheme was a big part of it. Go ahead, Sabrina. I know you got something to add.
Just do you, Gloria. Just do you. Stop overthinking this thing. You're going to be fabulous. A great tip, because now they have beautiful clear shoes that go with everything, right? That translucent shoe goes with everything. Right. And that worked for me so well over in England. I mean, because you could dress it up, dress it down, and it went with everything. I took 4 pairs of shoes over there and seriously wore 2 pairs the whole week. Yeah, just 2 pairs. So, wow. I mean, but that clear shoe works wonders. Wow. And I think, Gloria, because we like color. I mean, I would look at that neutral situation. I was like, I'm not wearing no neutral. Neutral is boring. It's dull. I don't like it. It doesn't bring me joy. I don't care how easy it is for us to work with neutrals and packing. That's not your personality. So if I see you over there in some neutral colors, I'm going to put the thumbs down on all your social media. Okay?
She's so messy. She knows how to go right for the dagger in the heart. Thumbs down on my social media. Oh my God.
Gloria,
what are we going to say, Caterina?
How about, is it going to be raining? I mean, you're going to tropical places where, I mean, it can rain. You're not going at the time where it's torrential. When I was in Singapore, that torrential thing, just having one of them raincoats was essential.
I did buy some raincoats, some disposable raincoats from Amazon to go over there. You know whose idea that was? I wasn't thinking about no rain. Kim was like, be ready for the weather, be ready for the weather. So I did some of that. You know, part of my hardest decision making was what camera to bring. And everybody I asked said the camera that you have with you, which is the iPhone. And I was like, can you really go all the way to Asia with just the iPhone? Y'all, I really researched it. And the best one that comes from is the iPhone 13. If you're going to go, you can take beautiful pictures. You can take video, and it's beautiful.
More so than the Android.
I have that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have that. Okay, so the difference between the Android and the Apple, it depends on the look that you like. if you like a Samsung, it pops the pictures more because it adds more color to it.
Samsung. Okay.
So the Samsung, what I say, the Samsung adds more pictures. But if you like the natural look, you really like it beautiful, but you like the natural look, it doesn't look like it's been prepared, you go with the iPhone. And so it's just a hot mess. So I went and bought a camera.
Of all those places, Gloria, that you're going, because you guys are covering a lot of territory in 26 days, which place, what destination are you most excited about?
There's a couple. So first, I'm really excited about Korea because of the technology. I can't wait to see all those people walking around with their Samsung phones on. I can't wait to see the technology. They said that city was landed. I mean, was what's the word? Just destroyed in 1853 because of the Korean War. And they've rebuilt it. So it's going to be like landing in a new city where all the technology is going to be different. All the lights, camera action is going to be amazing. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about Vietnam because we heard so much about Vietnam, the Vietnam War and all that stuff. And so I'm really excited. Everybody I've talked to said that Vietnam is absolutely gorgeous. And that it's like the quiet secret of the world. Like not a lot of people go to Vietnam. I'm just a little bit concerned. I want to make sure that everything that's on my plate is dead before it gets to my plate. So I want to make sure that that's happening. And then I'm interested to see Bali because it says so beautiful. Everyone says it's just absolutely beautiful. So the locations in Bali that we're staying is going to be this beautiful hotel that's out, where there's a lot of water and there's a lot of trees and all that stuff. So it is a lot that we're covering, but it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So those are the areas that I'm looking forward to the most.
We're going to be going back to Dubai. Pictures. Not what you have on, just so you know. Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. I needed that reminder, right? I'm gonna be on the other side of the world, and I think they're gonna be looking at my smile, and they ain't looking at my smile. They're looking at the temples. That's exactly right. So that's gonna be a big deal. And then just doing the social media over there, you guys, we had to do a whole nother show about that because that's gonna be a big piece of it. But it's exciting to know that a lot is going on. A lot is going on with the travel. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be on Emirates. They're going to pick us up and they're going to take us to the airline. We're going out of Dulles. So it's a lot to show. One of the things that I hope the tribe tells me is what they look forward to seeing. What do they want to see? Because it's not something that you often get to do. And people have said, show the beauty of it, show the culture of it, show, what do you want to do? Like, we don't want to go on a tour from 9 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night. But when you go to Korea and you go to Vietnam, English is not a requirement at all. A lot of places in the world where they have to know a little bit of English, but over there, there's no need. Like, how you have a different language and then they have the X sign underneath so that you can see the English? None of that over there. They're like, no, if you don't get it, you ain't going to get it. So if you don't understand the symbol, that's too bad for you.
Yeah. So Gloria, is that a concern? Is that a concern, the language barrier? I mean, what do you guys, because you guys don't have tour guides, right?
No, we have some tour guides already lined up. So we're going to do some tour guides. We just don't want to go on all the tours. We don't want to go on all the buses and all that kind of stuff. But we'll have tour guides with us.
But to go in a restaurant and order food, you're just going to be pointing, I guess.
Yeah, and we'll have some guides with us then. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I hope it's dead. I hope it's dead. That's all I hope it's dead. That's all I know is I hope it's dead. But everybody says the food is delicious. So I'm looking forward to the type of food. I'm looking forward to being with you guys. I'm looking forward to being on We Got Issues at 2 o'clock in the morning over there. I'll be back over here. You guys, we're so glad you joined us today. And I'm so glad you helped me stretch this show out to make it a perfect show for us today because we got issues. We got issues. You joined us on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. This is the Force of Friendship. We're celebrating girlfriends all day long, no matter what's going on in the world. We're happy to be with you tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Safe travels.